All right, Scorpio and Ophiuchus, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for November 30th through December 6th. My name is Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology, very different from mainstream astrology, which you can find more about down below if you're new to this channel. All right, so this December, first of all, we come into December on Tuesday. It's going to be very transformative. However, we don't really start to feel those transformational energies until the weekend, I feel like, which is mostly going to be Mars squaring up to Pluto. But as we approach it, we do have some nice things taking place. We've got the fog lifting up from Saturn square Neptune, which is quite nice. I think especially by the time the weekend comes around, there is a veil lifting, that fog lifting. And I think we'll start to feel that around Monday as the sun separates from Saturn. And we do have some other nice aspects of the week. So let's go ahead and have a look. Starting on Monday, the sun separating from Saturn and that square up to Neptune. With any doubts and uncertainty about you, about your goals, things like that, which has been the first house, and maybe taking that seriously too has been very good. You can really ground that. Your goals, your life path, where are you headed? What are you building? What are your short-term aspirations? What are your long-term aspirations? How to assume healthy responsibility. All of this has been the theme for you with Saturn here, and especially this last weekend coming into this week with the Sun and Mercury still in this first house of yours. So when it comes to even the career stuff, especially around Monday, which you might have been feeling on Sunday, taking that seriously. Maybe we don't know where that's going. But again, it's all by still working hard nonetheless and having faith that everything is unfolding in divine timing. So that is Monday, and then on Tuesday, Mercury does a trine up to Uranus, which is actually quite exciting, something new, something different. So be especially involved for those of you watching this for Ophiuchus, because it'll be technically in that stronger first house energy for you. So, but for all of us, there is something new, something different coming in involving the self, maybe again involving those drives, those ambitions, those goals, things like that. And it's pulling in from the self-expression. So it could be to maybe do something, a hobby, something that's a passion of yours, or some sort of creative thing, or romantic, or something like that. That could be a mix-up from the daily routine that's been maybe taking place with you and these responsibilities or whatever. So that's a nice little energy there on Tuesday to work with. And while it's happening, there is a square up to Chiron from Mercury. So there is healing taking place. And I think just being open to healing, then it'll just happen very naturally. Here's the transit graph for the week. There's that Tuesday aspect. And then as we go into the weekend, Mercury does square up to Jupiter, which actually comes across as quite optimistic almost always, or at some level of that. And here it's involving the career stuff, involving the legacy, the big picture, the public life, which has been expanding for about almost the past 6 months for you. And with a square up to Mercury, from the first, it could be you just are feeling quite optimistic about that. So it's good, maybe something new, maybe an opportunity. But with the square, it's saying stay grounded, watch any extremes with it, and turn it into something constructive. That's the best way to work with a square from Jupiter, especially with something in your first house involving these goals and drives or whatever those career things might be. Could even be community related since Mercury does rule your 11th. And again, that could be something that's exciting around Tuesday, as well as just deeper things kind of becoming easier, or there's a new opportunity to form a bond or to get deeper in life with the relationship or your work or your career, your home and family, whatever it might be. Then as we go into the weekend, the sun does start to sextile up to Mars, which is quite good. So here, all of this, prana and life force energy. Happy birthday to you, Scorpios, watching this for your sun sign, who have your birthday this week, by the way. But there is that drive. And so with your ruler sextiling up to the sun in the first house this weekend, you could be feeling quite motivated, quite vital, like you have that vital life force energy and that drive and that intent. And it could be because of that sort of fog lifting up. And the drive and intent is likely taking place in the area of organizations or groups or community things with Mars in that 11th. And it's a good area to facilitate that. Especially it being your ruler. So that's a very good positive energy. Now with that, energy, that prana there is transformation happening. And this is the transformational element of the month. This weekend going into next week, and that's going to be Mars squaring up to Pluto. So the key with all Pluto transits, it's to be open to change, be open to getting rid of any old belief systems, any old structures in your life, and here again relating to the group stuff, community things, but really with you, since it is your ruler Mars, and maybe even with your routine, maybe the health stuff or the work, whatever that needs to change. So be open to that, because usually if we're willing to dive deep, we often do, especially for those of you that are Scorpio and Ophiuchus, you see the truth of the matter. So the more open we are to seeing the truth, the next step here is to make the change that we know needs to be made. And then in that way, it does become very constructive. And we get rid of the old, we make way for the new, and those new foundations of who you are, and even with your group organizational things you're a part of, and your routine can be rebuilt and restructured as we go into next week. All right. So that's going to be the highlight of the week, Scorpio and Ophiuchus. If you guys have any questions, please do let me know. If you haven't already done so, do check out the 2-for-1 readings I'm offering for the holidays, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.